Hello, Melissa Crook here. Welcome to this week's Feel podcast episode, Treat Yourself the Way You Want Others to Treat You with Yahne Sneed. There is some really thoughtful ways to engage this week with this episode, and they involve think about what's stopping you from uncovering your layers, all those pieces and parts that make up who you are. Is it fear? Is the idea overwhelming? Whatever the reason may be, work towards uncovering your layers piece by piece. Start small and superficial if that's easier, such as pointing out things you like about yourself rather than staring at all the things you wish you could change. Take the first step of loving yourself and giving yourself the treatment you ultimately deserve. We hope that helps you and gives you a guide as you listen to and engage this week with treat yourself the way others want. Treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. Gosh, but that was a mouthful. Today with our special guest, she's a ray of sunshine. You're going to feel her energy through your phone screen, your computer screen, wherever it is you're listening, with the energetic and full of life, Yahne Sneed. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yahne, we were talking about living out of your own expectations. So let's pick up from there because you've had so much good stuff to say about that.
Yes. So when it comes down to expectations, we really do have to realize our perception of others, right? And what I was speaking about before was that we hold each other at a high pedestal, and sometimes that lead us humans to be disappointed when someone don't hit that mark all the time, right? Because like I saw you at this way, I saw you this way, I told this to you, I wanted you to hold this secret, I wanted this, I wanted that. So what I found out when it comes to that is that we are not seeing them as humans. We are holding them based on the spot they have in our lives. And when it comes down to expectations and fulfilling a spot, we're forcing someone else in their journey to be what we need in our journey, which we can't do that, right? Because they have their own way of seeing things. I have my own way of seeing things. And it's not just in a relationship and, I'm just talking about expectations, right? We have our way of seeing things, right? It's like a 6. I see a 6, you see a 9 based on which way we are. So we have our own way of thinking about something, and we're both expecting something from each other. Now, the key to having a successful relationship with expectations is all about communication. Regardless of what you do, it's all about communication. So when I have an expectation of someone, I lay it out. I make sure, it is not always, but I do make sure that my question is specified enough where language do not get in the way of what I'm trying to convey to an individual and what the individual is trying to convey to me. So I ask, what are you doing? What do you think about this? What do you mean in this way? So I know that our language is right on the same thing, because what I don't want to do is set myself up for failure or the other individual when it comes down to expectations, because we both came into this thinking something. And that's something that we think about is totally two different somethings that make any sense. So when it comes down to expectations, is for me, how do I live with them, or how do I work around expectations? One, like I said, is communication. The second thing is to make sure my expectation of someone is easy and manageable to reach. Sometimes we be like, we want you to be the sky, the moon, the sea, the water, the earth, the everything. And you're like, I'm just human. I don't know if I can be the sky, the sea, the this and that. I don't know if I can be everything. I'm here. I care for you. I just want the best for you. But it's a lot of weight to put on another human when they're probably not even where they're at. And sometimes relationships, we do that way too much. And I'm not talking about platonic mother and daughter relationship, sister relationship. Just in general, we do that way too much. So with me, I exercise communication. I exercise is it manageable and easy for them to do? If they say that is not, then I have to understand what that looks like for me, for them to say that is not, because that's another thing with expectation. Okay, this is my boundary. This is what I'm expecting of you. You're saying you can't. Is there a common ground? If not, then there's no way to work around it, no matter how much we both want this to work out. If we can't agree, then I don't want to agree to disagree, So that's how I work with my expectations, and be okay with that. I'm gonna say just being okay with just being okay with it. You know, we have to be okay with that. I know a lot of okays, but we have to be okay with being okay.
Yes.
Because if we don't, we're gonna allow our expectations to rot us, right? Because we're like, I expected this of you, I expected this of you, and who's to blame for that, right? Not them. They're not to blame for you being in a certain position in your life and thinking that they had the common knowledge that you had to fill that position the way you wanted to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way. My mom, even if she's my mom, I'm sure your mom, you should know everything. You're my mom. Wait a minute. Before she was a mom, she was a human first, right? And that in itself is a lot to deal with because it's like I'm seeing you as a title, not who you are. So we get confused when it comes down to expectations. And we need to separate those two. You can compartmentalize that, yeah, she's my mom, but before she had me, she was somebody else. Right? Yeah. And now she's trying to figure out a way to put two together and not saying it's 12. She's saying it's 5. Maybe she's thinking of it in a different way and I'm seeing it a different way. How can I see her for who she is versus for what I expect her to be? Right?
Yes.
That's when it comes to expectations and how I try to manage what I want versus reality. Because reality is a state of being, right? Just we're just here, right? And how, like I said before, how we can categorize things is what we expect from that categorization, right? So you see me with my complexion of my skin, you are automatically going to assume something versus they see you of your complexion of your skin and your hair texture. It's totally two different things, but we're both women, right? We're just the complexion based on our ancestors and where we was at when the sun hit us and all that foolishness, right? It's not that deep, but based on that, I don't get a different reaction than what you may be getting, or somebody who's of my like mom but may have straight hair or bald hair or whatever the case may be. Expectations is just our perception and reality, and we're trying to put our perception of how we want things to be here. And we have to understand that we're not here; we're just of it. We're not here, right? We're just up here experiencing things, letting our brains interpret it, and then there's an output. So I'm expecting something from you, but I'm not getting it, right? Upset, right? That's the natural reaction of it all. And we have to understand that's okay to expect something, but we have to also understand the other end of it is no one can be your end all be all, right? There's boundaries, right? So just because in one area of our life we can't expect them to be, they may be expecting to be somewhere else. Maybe this is a best friend that you can call on when you want to hang out or have some fun time. Maybe it's not the best friend you can call on to vent to because she's a blabbermouth, right? We need to find where we can expect them to be at and what how much they can be a part of our lives versus wanting them to be a part of our lives in this circle and expecting them to stay here. That's not how it works.
Yeah, so many good things there. That was just a masterclass in expectations because, the communication piece, so important. And you said that piece about, we expect based on people's titles and forget they're human, that human piece, that human part of it. And also just what our responsibility is about managing our own expectations, communicating them, so many good things there. Thank you so much for that. You should do a TED Talk on expectations. That was really, really good. Oh my gosh. Honestly, I'm not kidding. You submit and I will be the person that says, yep, she's got it. She's got it figured out. Accepting the layered aspects of ourselves. And this is really what you talk about. You talk about learning to love yourself and learning and knowing your value. That's a big part of your work. And I put different language to it, but it's that accepting the layered aspects, all those pieces that make us who we are in our journey, the things that happened, the choices we made, the choices we didn't make, all those things packaged up, learning to accept those, embrace those, and love ourselves well. And you've been able to do that so well. And you understand that that's at the core of you being able to live the way you want to live. At what point did you realize, unless I learn to love myself well, none of these other things are going to fall into place?
I'm laughing because when did I realize that I have to love myself first before I prioritize others? Even saying that out loud just sounds crazy to me because I had it the other way around. Sounds
yeah,
totally
and I think
bizarre.
so many women do.
So I'm laughing at that because it's like, shouldn't it be a no-brainer to put yourself first and then others second? We was born into this world numero uno. I don't care if you got a twin or not. You came into this world by yourself, right? So you would expect I'll put myself first, right? But when it comes down to self-love, when did I realize that? It's because I was sick and tired of letting myself down. I was so miserable and upset that I allowed factors to take away my happiness. I was, and it wasn't a one-time thing. It was a consistent thing. It's like you get to a point, right? Say for instance, you're pouring water into a bowl again, right? That's going to get to a point where it's going to overspill, right? You just can't keep pouring water and sticking it to just, it's not going to hold it all. I got tired, like literally physically tired, drained, emotionally needed a rewiring. You're talking about I didn't want to be here no more. Like it was just dark, evil, whatever word you wanted to describe the feeling of being low in a low vibration. The feeling like you don't even want to go into the unknown because the past was so painful, right? It was one of those type of things for me. It was like, I don't even want to step foot into the next direction because I don't know what's going to happen, right? That, for me, I was so tired of it. I didn't want that heavy load no more, right? That was annoying to have that every day. Walking like a hunchback with the pain and the problems, just it was enough. I was tired. When you get to a point that you're just tired, you're just tired, I was that way. I wanted a change, right? So I was like, what is it going to take for me to not look at my life so miserably? What is it going to take for me not to feel like I want death every day for breakfast? What is it going to feel like not to drink alcohol no more and abuse that because you don't want to be here no more? What does that feel like to not make a wrong decision every time you make a choice, or not even, or fearing having a wrong decision? What does that look like for me just to be okay and self-assured? Like, I want to be that. I was so tired of not being that. I want to be that. And when we women have our mind set on something, we have my set on something. There's nobody gonna take us out of that. It'll be the craziest story. I'm gonna jump off the cliff. I don't know what's water down there. I'm just gonna jump. My child is down there, and she's gonna fall, and I'm gonna just go it. Like it's just like boom. And for me, I'm very passionate about what I want to do, right? And it's like I was tired. I wanted to change. I was tired of relying on everybody else because that's where I thought my hope was going to come from. I had to change that up. I was tired of feeling low, allowing someone else to take my energy and my joy. I was tired of being miserable with my own choices and feeling like I was a failure or I made a mistake and I couldn't bounce back from it. I was just tired of looking in the mirror and not believing that I can do anything other than just being, because that's what everybody told me. I was just tired of it. So self-love, I had to realize during all those times, right? It got to a point in that moment, right? I don't know what year to date, but I know there was a moment, we all had the moment we're tired of it. It's like, well, I need to change. I need to break through this thing. I cannot be right here. I cannot stay here. There's something to break through. I'm going to break through something, and it might not even be pretty. I need to fix this ish now. Yesterday, I need to fix this ish. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I need to fix this. And that's kind of what my thought process is. Like, life got me effed up. If you think you're gonna keep allowing me to be like this, right? And during that transition, I have a best friend I've been with for a long time. So she's been speaking life into me, and that's also something I do when it comes to self-love. It's like, it's one thing for you to say, but outside of that, our bodies, our nervous system, whatever you want to say, our senses need to hear that. It feels good to say you're doing a good job. It's still good to say I love you. It feels good to say this and that, to hear it, not to boost you up, but to have another acknowledgement outside of yourself feels great, right? So when it comes down to stuff, it was that point where I'm like, Yahne, if you don't treat yourself better, you're going to stay here. Do you want that? Like, honestly, be like real honest with yourself, real talk. Do you want to stay here? I don't. I don't. And being stubborn is a good thing. It just if you know how to use it the correct way. I was stubborn to not stay here. I was stubborn to choose to love myself. I do this with my daughter all the time. She's beautiful, but I still do this. Go in the mirror, pick 3 things that you like about yourself, externally, internally, and explain why. I do that to myself. I do that for her. I get to a point with myself, and sometimes even with me now, right? My hair is flawless. Don't get me twisted because it's flawless. I colors, everything is look good. But at the same time, thank you, Belle. I appreciate it. But at the same time, I know that I can be a good quality if I put a little work into it. You know what I mean? A little bit of makeup, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Not for you guys, but for me. Because I feel my most pretty when I get my hair done. Most women do that. Our nails done. Not to be like showboat, look at my nails, my fake nail I just got done at the nail salon. I paid $100 on. No. It's to just look at it in the mirror and say, I look pretty. It don't gotta be a whole big jewelry set and a garment, but self-love look differently. So I had to do that. I had to find out what my features are, lean into them. Baby, I can tell you right now, my eyes, my lips, my smile, my smile, my lips, my eyes, my hair. The best features I have in my body. That's okay because it's right here. Hello, I'm good with that. So it's all about the way you perceive things, right? And we all, us as women, we have to love ourselves with the basic minimum. We have to do that for ourselves because if we don't love ourselves at the basic minimum, anybody in this world can just walk all over us, and we won't know when to say no. We won't know when to say stop. We won't know anything. So I had to make the choice. Yahne, do you want to love yourself the way you envision yourself to love yourself in the future? Bump anybody else. What does it look like for you, Yahne, to love yourself, right? I got so comfortable with people saying I like the way you look. And I'm like, hey, you don't gotta look at me. I love myself. You don't gotta look the way I look. It's totally fine.
I love that. That's awesome. It's like, that's your problem, not mine.
Truly. People like, I interviewed somebody, and I interviewed somebody. I'm a podcaster, and I interviewed somebody, and they tell me I'm witty. They tell me I'm a little bit kooky. And I have to sit and think, and I'm just like, why would you ever describe me in such a way? But what I said was, okay, cool, I love myself. Thank you for calling me that. I don't care what you call me. If that's what you identify with, I don't care. I know I'm witty. I know I'm kooky. Like, it's not nothing about the language for me anymore. If you see a negative connotation with it, you see it. I have developed so much self-love and so much self-acceptance for myself is that it's unparalleled to what anybody think. And I'm not being conceited. It's just confidence. It's unparalleled to what anybody say. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that because it's so important for us to delineate between, we've heard so many things about bragging and all, and humility, that it's been taken out of context. It is good to think well of ourselves. It is good to speak well of ourselves. It is good to love ourselves well, because in so many ways, that sends a message to other people about how to treat us. They're much more likely to value us if they see us valuing ourselves. And it's just, there's so much power in it. Thank you so much for that. That was so good. In living out finding empowerment, embracing layers, which you have done beautifully and are doing beautifully. How has this affected, you are welcome. How has this affected the quality, not only of your relationship with yourself, which we've talked about, but also your relationship with other people?
Yeah. So doing the work, empowerment. So I lost a couple of people. And I'm okay with that because if me changing to better myself makes me create this environment where you're not in there, then I have to question what was really why you was with me to begin with.
Yeah.
And that there for me, I'm okay with that because I know my value. I know what I offer. I do a damn good about it. I have 2 kids. I'm doing it on my own. I am the best that I can possibly be at this moment, and the sky's the limit for me. If you missed out on the opportunity, you just missed out on something amazing. Best friend wise, relationship wise, marriage wise, just being my friend, a co-worker, you missed out on the best opportunity possibly available to you. I have resources as well, but it's only for those I care for. If you missed out, you missed out. So I have to be okay with those that I had to let go, right? It was no hard feelings or anything. It's just our path crossed at one moment. It is going to keep crossing, and then you got your journey. I got my journey as the crisscrossing happened. And that moment of the X is where we're supposed to meet, but it wasn't going to be forever. Season, reason, moment, or a lifetime is the only way we interact with each other. Some stay for a long time, some don't. Some switches off. I know we have bad relationships. We all have our boyfriends. Hey, it happens sometimes. But it's all about a learning experience for everybody. So when it comes down to just others, I have to be okay with my boundaries, first off, and don't let nobody change those boundaries. And make sure they healthy boundaries. I have to be okay with, hey, I'm not everybody's piece of cake. Some like chocolate, some like vanilla, some like red velvet, some don't like chocolate or cake at all. Hey, they may like candy. Hey, totally fine with that. I'm not for everybody. I'm not going to change who I am because I know somebody loves some piece of chocolate cake. I love chocolate cake. So I know somebody else wants to love it. So
I love that.
So I have to be okay with being me. And like for me, and if I lose people along the way, that's okay. But one thing I know when it comes to life, and we're like that thing, the merry-go-round. Yeah. When it comes to life, someone leaves, somebody coming back. Someone leaves, somebody coming back, right? That's how my life is. I have been filled with love and disappointment, but that's okay. Because the one thing when it comes down to, how my interaction with others and everything is that in order for me to know what up feels like, I have to be down. So I have to be disappointed in no way what that looks like for me to have that love, because I'm not going to have anything compared to. Like I said, I was in a lot of abusive environments. So I can't know nothing is great if I don't have anything to compare it with. So all of my relationships, all of, the platonic ones or just relationships in general, if they with me now, they saw my development. If they not, deuces, there's no hard feelings. Everybody is where they at. But I lost love, conquered, discovered, and it's quite all right. If they stay, they stay. If they don't, there's no hard feelings. And I want to harbor on something because my heart is saying to harbor on it right now. I do get these messages. I want to say this. I don't really have a lot of individuals, and I'm saying it's okay. It's okay to be with yourself. Like I said, I have about 3 best friends. I have 3 good best friends that I can call up right now. It's called quality over quantity. I don't need a room full of people and not know them and they're here versus me knowing 3 good ones and I can stay silent with them and that'll be the best experience of my life. You have to understand where your value lies at. Your value lies within yourself, not how many people can fill up a room because they're not filling you up. They're just filling up the space so it won't feel empty for you. Once you realize that the space is not empty, you won't feel so much abundant inside of you because you're going to take yourself out on a date. I do that. I'm not embarrassed of that. I'll take myself out on the movies. I'll take myself out on dinner dates. I'll get dressed up for myself and like, oh, girl, we're about to have some fun. I do that because I know my happiness lies in me and no one else can fill that up. And it could be because of our self-love. It could be my passion of life got me effed up. But when you get to a point where you're like, you can't do nothing for me. I only want you in my life. That's a whole new different power because no one can change your mind up of what you want for yourself. And that takes it with a relationship, workspace. I don't think my boss, you're going to respect me. Yeah, I want this check, but you're going to respect me because I'm human. After 5 o'clock, you're a person just like me. Yeah, I want you in my life, but I don't need you. So you're going to stop talking to me like that and abusing me. Yeah, I want to marry you, but if you're going to keep on cheating on me, it's a no. I have boundaries. I know my self-worth, and this is what it is. If you're going to pass that, then find somebody else to play with because it's not me. That's how I do it. I'm not mad. I'm not aggressive about it. It's passionate, and I know what I got, and I know my value. So if you don't want me about it, don't be bothered, but don't come over here with the foolishness because I know where I'm at. I know who I am, and you can't mess around.
Yeah. Oh, that was so good. I love that so much. You said so many important things there. But I want to really go back to just that quality over quantity, and that being okay with being with yourself. We get real, when we're not healthy, when we're not well, we get real uneasy about being with ourselves, and we get real concerned about what other people are thinking. So that can be a red light to you that there's some work that needs to be done, and that's okay. We all have to do it at some point. That's okay. Don't be scared of that. Don't be ashamed of that, but also be aware of that, because there's so much power in being surrounded by, whether it's 1, 10, or 100, but they're people that care about you. They're people that are worthy of your time, that know your value, that support you and meet you where you are. Thank you so much for that. So good. So good. Oh my goodness. We are down to our rapid fire. Name 5 activities that nourish you.
Nourish. Nourish. That word nourish. 5 activities that nourish me. The first one comes to mind is my spirituality. I meditate. I self-reflect a lot. I know that some individuals might think that's a lot to do, but when you get in the habit of consciously being aware of your surroundings, aware of your emotions, just being aware with the third eye, not with these blind eyes, the third eye, just being aware. And you constantly do it on a consistent basis, it's foolproof. It's just like it's innate to you. So I want to say that because that would make me smile. The fact that I can meditate and sit back on things and have an epiphany that would transform or facilitate at least growth, the start of growth. And that's what I love, because I want to grow. The second thing is what nourished me, comedy. Comedy nourished me like no other. I think I mentioned it earlier, I'm a big goofball. It nourished me because laughter is a powerful medicine. Bump Tylenol, bump ibuprofen, but bump any medicine a doctor can give you. Second to love, laughter is a powerful medicine. Now, yes, I did say that. Second to love, laughter is a powerful medicine. It would definitely help you in so many ways, because you be crying, but you be crying happy tears, right? You will get out that pent up energy and anger and anguish or whatever. You can't stay mad when you're laughing. When you find something that hurts your sides, that relief you get after you finish damn it, laugh your whole insides up, you will feel great. And I say that because I love those moments when you laugh, when you can't breathe and you're crying and just like snotting everywhere because you can't just hold anything in. You just like, it's just crazy on the floor. You can't just get up. You got to stay there. Type of laughter. That's my aim for when it comes to me. Like, I just love comedy because in that moment, what are you thinking about? Happiness. You're not thinking about your frustration. You're not thinking about what makes you mad and sad. You're not thinking about any of that. You're just thinking about how funny that moment was, right? The third thing is stay in the moment. That's the third thing. We have to understand that sometimes life repeats itself, but it's not the same thing. You have to understand there may be things that come up and say, hey, I've been through this before, but you haven't. It just come back around saying, hey, have you learned your lesson yet? Did you learn from the last thing yet? Let's see how much you grew, right? That's what life is teaching. Life is teaching you how to grow. So being in the moment is nourishing for me because it allows me to stay right here and now. It's not allowing me to get ahead of myself in the future with built up anxiety that I don't know about the unknown. It's not allowing me to be in the past with things that I can't change. It's allowing me to be right here, right now, in the present, right? That's where I owe it to myself to be at for my kids. I owe it to myself to be in the moment for myself. So it nourished me that I can be here and breathe and shake it off because I know that I did not come this far to let my past get me. And I'm not going to stop and let my future determine my fear. The fear is just, like I say, unknown. Fear is just an experience that you haven't, an event that you haven't experienced yet. And that's what the future is. By being present and now, you're building up those muscles. You're building up the goals that you're setting. You're prioritizing. You're putting one foot in front of the other. When you look ahead, that's a long journey. We don't know what's up ahead. It's foggy. That's a long journey. We look behind you. That's foggy too. Because some of that stuff that you thought was real may not. It's just probably your perspective. And as far as you go from that past, it starts to distort because you're trying to pull pieces together and fit those puzzles and they may not be there. So that's terrible. The future is foggy. You only have right now. When we drive in the fall, we put those high beams on, you only right in front of you that you have to see. You can't look at anywhere else. And that's how life is. You only have right now. But when you talk about, I can't see, right? It's not meant for you to see. It's meant for you to drive right now because you don't know what's in front of you right now. So being in the present moment gives you tunnel vision. We put that horse thing, had that mask on, all you can see right here is not looking at anything else. When you start driving, they got those things called right here. It's focus, tunnel vision. That's how you can change up your whole atmosphere because when you start painting that canvas, you're right now. How can I change my life right now to fit my future presence, right? My future being, right now. That was third. The fourth thing is I love on myself, right? So I nourish myself in many different ways. I ask somebody what do I need. It may need to exercise. I ask somebody maybe what do I need. Maybe I need more sleep. Maybe I need to watch something funny, like I said. Maybe I need to build up resilience in this moment. Maybe I need to build resilience in something else. Maybe right now is the perfect time to do that. Maybe self-love for me looks like I want to learn Spanish, and let me take 30 minutes out of my day to learn Spanish. Right? What does it look like for me to just be, fill myself up with self-love, right? And that's what one of the things that I'm always trying to be a master at, to really fine tune it to the point where I'm not on a phone call, which is be nice on a phone call. Hey girl, let's go out and hang. But if that phone call goes, well, I'm busy today. Okay, well, I know there are certain things, X, Y, and Z that I can do when I'm in this mode to get me out of it on my own. So therefore, I'm not in a sense of, hey, I don't know how to get myself out of here, right? So I fill myself up with self-love. So those moments that I need that self-love in those particular areas, I can lean on them for my own self, right? In that moment, not relying on the next phone call is going to be that whole lack and void of, I don't know who I can call. Well, I got a couple of tips of my own that I can do, right? The last thing I do to nourish myself is I practice affirmations. Our language, what we say out there, right, is a very important to what bounce back to us. We all energy. I don't care what you say. We're spiritual and soulful, and that comes with energy, right? If you will, this body, this clay we have like a house. Inside that house is us, if you will, right? So without us being in a house, it's just going to be a house. So inside of us, if you will, you follow my logic, is energy. We have energy. That's how we can move around, right? I need more energy. I'm tired. That's us inside of us saying that sometimes we need to slow down. Sometimes we need to do this. Sometimes that's inside of we have that energy. So speaking out there, I have to learn how to, and I'm still learning how to visualizing what I'm saying and what the outcome is. Because I say, oh, I'm lazy. That visualization that I just put out there, I don't know exactly what lazy means. They don't have eyes and perception. They don't have that. Lazy? Okay, well then I'm going to make you more lazy by having a show come on and have your brain think it's okay to procrastinate, right? So we have to be okay with what's visually said about ourselves. And I do that on a daily basis. That's why I can have the confidence, not conceited, to say I'm flawless, right? And I'm not flawless in a way that I'm perfect, because I believe I'm perfectly imperfect, but flawless in nature that I can say I'm human, but I'm also perfectly me, right? I'm human. Humans make mistakes, but I'm perfectly me inside of those mistakes I make because I'm learning. So I have to verbally tell myself, that's what grace, that's forgiveness, that's empathy. I can go on and on about what NLP is, but when you verbally say out loud those affirmations, your body, like I said, your brain is in a dark space. All you can do is interpret what the system is telling you. When you outright say, I'm perfect, I'm healthy, I'm this, your brain is going to tell you that. And I have seen it. I have seen it in my own life, what verbal things can do. I've seen it in my mom's life. We both have fought some things that were serious, and death was almost an option for both of us, and how we came back by verbally affirming that we're going to make it out, that we're victors. That verbal helps us move forward and it nurture your body. When you be like, oh, I'm tired, your body's like, okay, well, you're tired, then it's going to start having an effect on you. But when you say I'm pumped up, I'm energized, I'm excited, right now, I really haven't been sleep. I've been working. But you won't tell because I'm pumped up, I'm energy because it's something I'm passionate about. I have intention with it. I'm not going to say I'm tired because when you do that, you draw all that on you. Who want all that negative energy? I want all the positive energy. I want the abundance. I want life. I don't want to just live. I want to be alive with life. So it's all about your verbal and how you can manage that outside world. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not even saying it has to be all the time. Every moment you gotta go, okay, what can I say that's perfect? No, let it be a natural response. Stop yourself from saying something negative and say two things positive. Stop yourself from saying things negative and say two things positive. Oh, before I say I don't like myself, let me just say I love my eyes and my hair. Okay, now you have said something. Your brain is going to interpret. Next time you constantly do it, oh, my eyes do look pretty now. Oh, my hair do look flawless now, right? That's how I nourish myself. It was a lot, but I wanted to make sure I understood.
Yeah, that is so important, though. I'm so glad you shared all that, though, because that is such a great example of you know what nourishes you. You know what needs you. And then there are too many of us out there that don't know that. And we don't live in abundance, and we don't live as our most authentic, healthiest selves because we don't know how to tap into that. And there's so much power when you do know it and are able to tap into it. So thank you not only for sharing, but sharing so passionately, because that's contagious. And when people hear you talk about it in that way, they want it too. And if that, I think there's so much power in that. So thank you so much. All right. Lastly, 5 words on how you want to feel the next 6 months.
The first one that comes up is more financial stability. I am great where I'm at. If you have kids, I want to pour into and invest. And what it looks like for me is even more, right? I want to be financial security. I want to have more financial stability, right? That's the language there. The next thing is I want to continue being complete. I want to be more complete. I feel like I owe that to myself to keep growing. I owe it to my kids because they're looking at me on those ways of how to manage life. So I have that there, that accountability there. So more self-awareness, be more financially stable. Oh Lord, 5 more. I would say I want to be more available to those women who need to regain their confidence and empowerment and truly break free from what's holding them back. I want to be more available. And what that looks like is to continue with my word, with my mission, and really get those individuals to see me, hear my story, so I can help them and build up what they need to build up so they can too be right where I'm at or more. That'd be great to do more because we need others to build on top of each other in a more profound way.
Yeah.
The other 2 I would say is basically more personal. It will encompass having more of an intimate foundation with another human being, a partner. That's where I want to be at. I do want to be married, but the thing that I want first is to have that more intimate foundation with whoever I'm with. That's what I want. I see myself being that. And I've been holding off because, like I said, I explained everything to you. It's you have to have those boundaries. So for me to get that, maybe in 6 months, it may not be in 6 months, but it has to be intention there, right? And the last thing is enjoying myself more, getting to know Yahne more. Not the titles,
Yes.
Yahne, right? Not getting them being a mom more, not a sister, not an auntie, not a daughter, not a best friend, not a black woman, not even a woman with dreads, not a social worker, not somebody that graduated, none of that, not somebody that had adversity or conquered and become a victim. No. Human, I want to get to know myself more. Just me more. It looks like for me to be at a point where I want to be at. right?
Mm.
To know myself. I'm not saying I want to be 100%, but I want to be to a point where I know myself 80-20. I'm getting there. But 80-20 is that good thing for humans because it leaves room 20% for mistakes. But that
Sure.
80 is very powerful because if you can know yourself like that, the sky's the limit. And I want that. And I'm on my way to get that. So those are my top 5.
I love that. That is such a great way to wrap this up. The way you said that last one, to know you more, Yahne, and taking away all the titles, all the labels, all that. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for your time today. This has been such a great conversation. I knew it would be, and it has been even better than I imagined. Tell us, Yahne, and this will all be on our website at embracinglayers.com on the resources page. Listeners, you'll be able to find how to follow Yahne, how to work with her. But tell us real quick, the best place to find you, where to listen to your podcast for people that want to learn more from you and possibly work with you.
Yes. So all of my social media handles, including the podcast, which is on Apple and on YouTube, is called my business name, which is Relentless Phoenix and then 00. Relentless Phoenix 00. I love that name. I want to say so myself. But anyway, 00 is just, and I like to say this because I think it's too cute. But 00 is for the infinity sign, always beginning, never ending.
Oh,
and I love that because if you know what a phoenix is, they always repurposing themselves and coming back to life. So not giving up on any of your challenges. Relentless Phoenix 00. That's all of my social media handles. It's best to hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. But I do got TikTok as well, Facebook, Instagram, and my LinkedIn under my name. Hit me up, let me know. If you need anything from me, when you message me, you do get a free ebook on me. So you can build on resilience, build resilience like a victor. That's the ebook name. Build resilience like a victor. It's free ebook. I do sell them, but first time consumers or clients of mine get them for free. So yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thank you so much. Great resources there. I'm so excited to share this with our audience. Boy, women, if you are not pumped up after listening to Yahne today, you might want to check your pulse because I'm excited. Thank you so much for your time today, for your energy in the world, for sharing your story, and for the way you help women. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so thankful to have had this time with you today. Field Podcast audience, you know where to go. Go to embracinglayers.com, go to that resources page, start following Yahne and learning from her. She's got so much to offer us, and love yourselves well. Think about those things that nourish you. Be as firm in that as Yahne is, because that is where the power is. When you start understanding your value and your worth and your ability to experience those things that nourish you in that way. One more thing. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. And one more thing. I always say this to end it. I should have said it when you gave me the time to. But one thing is everybody's like, well, how can I do more for myself? The quickest way you can get to that is treat yourself the way you want others to treat you. That's the quickest way you can get to loving yourself more is when you do exactly what you want others to do for you.
Thank you for that. And on that note, Field Podcast audience, we're going to wrap it up here. Take care of yourselves and have a great week.